Hi guys, today we are going to start with a new chapter. The name of our chapter is The Tiny Teacher. So, this is basically a chapter about the tiniest teacher that you would ever think of, okay? So, we'll discover who this tiny teacher is. So, first of all, have you seen the smallest and the wisest insect? This is the question that I'm asking you. Have you seen? So, is it a fly? No, it's not a fly. Is it the mosquito? No, again, it's not the mosquito. Is it a worm? No, it's not a worm. It's an ant. It's the smallest and the wisest insect that we know. So, now we are going to discuss about the facts. There are numerous facts that this chapter states about the ants, and you'd never imagine such facts about ants, okay? So, we'll be reading such facts one by one. So, the first fact is an ant uses its feelers or antenna that we say to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. That's how they pass messages through their antennas. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the other ants coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. We see ants moving here and there. उनके antennas जब टकराते हैं, we sometimes think कि वो जान के टकरा रहे हैं या फिर that might be out of mistake, but that's how they greet them like each other. That's how they say hello to each other. So the third fact is there are many kinds of ants. Now the fourth fact is the commonest among them are the black and the red ones, the black and the red ants. Now the fifth fact is where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or ant hills. उनके घरों को हम ant hills बोलते हैं जो भी ants के places होते हैं. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms the queen ant lays eggs. We're going to talk about queen ant, like who she is, what she does, and when she lays eggs. So for now you need to know that she lays eggs in one of the rooms. So the next fact about the ants is others are nurseries for the young ones. जब भी उनके छोटे छोटे बच्चे हो जाते हैं तो उनके लिए nurseries भी होती हैं उनके घरों में. Okay, so the next one is workers have their reserved quarters. The ant workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. So the workers are supposed to go out and search for the food. That's their job. Now the next fact that we see about the ants is some rooms serve as storehouses for this food, the food that is collected by the workers. तो workers food ले आते हैं. अब उनकी जो homes होते हैं वहाँ पर what happens is they have kept rooms such as storehouses where they keep the food. Okay, now soldiers have separate barracks. Now soldiers के different areas होते हैं. After that it says that no worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. So this fact basically explains that जो काम है soldier का, soldier अपनी job करते हैं, they always protect, and let's say what we were talking about, the workers, they never exchange their work. Workers अपना काम करते हैं और soldiers अपना काम करते हैं. They never interfere between each other's work. Okay, so you see an ant's life is very peaceful. That's how the people describe the one who searches all these facts about ants. They say that ants' life is very peaceful. Okay, each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. Now when you talk about humans, we also sometimes get into a fight with our co-workers or with our friends, but when you talk about ants, they never fight with each other and they are doing their work happily, bravely, like their own work. They are not interfering in somebody else's work. Okay, now these were some facts about the ants, like ants on a whole, where do they live, how do they lay eggs, and about the queen ant. अब हम बात करेंगे about the queen ant. We are just going to talk all the facts about like who queen ant is. Okay, it is the mother of the whole population. जितनी भी ants की population है उनकी mother होती है queen ant. Okay, now it lives for about 15 years. That's her age. कितनी देर के लिए वो जीती है. It has a pair of wings but bites them off after its wedding flight. What this fact is trying to say, wedding flight यानी कि जब वो baby conceive कर लेती है वो उसके बाद अपने wings को bite off कर देती है, you know, after that. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. ये wedding flight कब होती है? On a hot summer day, when the queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant. जब वो एक male ant को मिलने के लिए बाहर जाती है, that's when it takes place. Okay, on its return to the earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lay eggs. When she's back, she does nothing, she just lays eggs after that. Okay. Now, eggs hatch. This is very important to understand that what happens and in which order. So it's very important to understand this cycle, what really happens. So first of all, the egg hatches and the grubs come out. Grubs are the young ones. So soldiers guard them and workers feed and clean them, also carry them for airing, exercise and sunshine. These are the duty of the soldiers and the workers. You have to keep that in mind कि soldiers हमेशा उनको guard करते हैं, protect करते हैं, whereas workers की क्या duty है? They are supposed to feed them, take them out for airing and also carry them daily for airing, exercise and sunshine. That's their duty. Okay. Now, grubs become cocoons. Like in this picture we could see, they are going to turn into cocoons. These grubs will turn into cocoon and lie without food or any activity for 3-4 weeks. That's when they are going to do nothing. They are not going to do any activity. They are just going to lie. After this period, cocoons break and perfect ants appear. Okay, so now it's the time for teaching and training. Now what happens is when the perfect ant appears, it comes the time for their training. Now they are going to learn from their old ants what they're supposed to do, like they are going to work in discipline. So after training, small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. So what happens is एक बारी उनको training मिल जाती है, they go again to the world where there is full of work and they have to do their work. Okay. An anthill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures such as beetles, lesser breeds of ants and green fly. These are the insects that are mentioned कि जो anthills है उनमें और कौन-कौन रहते हैं. So first of all is the beetles and lesser breed of ants and then again is the green fly. You must be wondering कि ants क्यों allow करती है इन सब insects को अपने area में आने के लिए, like अपने घर में आने के लिए, anthills में आने के लिए. So the reasons are as follows. Now some gives off smell pleasant to ants' senses. अब कुछ insect ऐसी smell देते हैं which are very pleasant and ants really like that smell. Some give sweet juices. Some of the insect give sweet juices. Some are just pets. Just like human beings, we keep pets such as dogs or cats. They also keep some insects as pets. They are talking about the ants. Okay. So green fly, it's the most important insect that lives in the anthill. वो most important क्यों है? जैसे like for example we get milk from the cow. So here the green fly works as a cow for the ants. How? The ants train it to give honeydew. Honeydew is again a type of milk, like in a form of milk you can say, with a touch of their antennas. So that's how they teach them, the green flies, how to give them milk. So these were the creatures and that was the importance that why they were living in the anthills. Okay. Now, therefore, we human beings have a lot to learn from tiny teachers. Hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness and care for young ones. Above all, firm loyalty towards the land where they live. These are the things that we can learn from these tiny creatures. That is why the ants are called tiny teachers. That's what we can learn from them. So, I hope that the text is clear to you guys. Now, we'll be moving on to the question answers of this chapter. Moving on, we'll be discussing the question answers of this chapter now. So the first question is, the story of Anne's life sounds almost untrue. The italicized phrase means, italicized phrase is the almost true, untrue over here. So the italicized phrase means it's highly exaggerated, too remarkable to be true, not based on facts. So the answer is, it is highly exaggerated. So complete the following sentences. An ant is the smallest insect that we have known. It is the smallest insect that we have known. We know a number of facts about an ant's life because there are many people who've studied about ants and they have also kept ants as pets. That's why we know so many facts about ants. So now the next question is, in what ways is an ant's life peaceful? Now the ant's life is very peaceful because all of them are doing their own job. Like soldiers are doing their own jobs, workers are doing their own jobs. So nobody is interfering, nobody is fighting, and everything is working in accordance. So that is why their life is very peaceful. So the next question is, how long does it take for a grub to become a complete complete ant. So for a grub to become a cocoon, it takes 3 to 4 weeks. Similarly, from a cocoon to convert into complete ant, like perfectly, it again takes 3 to 4 weeks. That's when a grub can actually be converted into an ant. Okay. So the next question is, why do the worker ants carry the grubs about? They carry the grubs about because for airing, for exercise, and that's how they take them out. Okay, so the next question is, what jobs are new ants trained for? Now, the new ants are trained by the old ants. They are trained under the categories of the soldiers, the cleaners, the workers, and the builders. These are the categories that they have. So they are trained for all of them. So now the next and the last question is, name some other creatures that live in ant hills. So we've discussed about other creatures. What were the other creatures? It was the beetle, it was the green fly, and the lesser breeds of ants. These are the creatures that live in the ant hills with the ants. Okay, so I hope that this chapter as well as the question answers are clear to you guys. We'll be meeting in our next video. Till then, take care and keep learning.